Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is CJ's Coins and Crafts with the series World Coins. I have 9 coins that we will be going over today, and let's get right into it. This first one is a 1949. This is a 10 Pfennig. This comes from the country Germany. I couldn't find an exact mintage on this particular one. This is a brass clad steel, but I did find out that the top of the mint mark, it's actually right up here at the top. It's a small J. There's 2 different styles of J. There's a small J that has about 154 million, and then a large J, which is the regular strike. So this is actually the lower, I guess, the lower mintage of the J mint mark, which means that this coin was struck in Hamburg in 1949. So I thought this is a really interesting coin to find that that there's 2 different mintages depending on the style of J. This one happens to be the small J. The rarity index on this particular one is number 5. Again, the rarity index is a scale from 1 to 100, 1 being the most common and 100 being the most rare. Alright, next coin. Next coin is going to be a 20 lira. This is a 1957. This comes from Italy. The mintage on this particular one is about 60 million. This is a minted out of aluminum bronze. This particular design that has the reeded edge, which is the edge right there. Here's the reverse. That has the reeded edge, was minted from 1957 to 1959, and it was only minted in these years with the reeded edge. Everything outside of that time frame, all those couple of years, I guess those 3 years, have a smooth edge. So again, it's just one of those things that I thought that was really interesting, that I picked up a coin for 10 cents to have it be a little bit rarer of a strike. This particular one is aluminum bronze, and the rarity index on this one is a 4. Alright. This happens to be a 1960 1 yen. This comes from Japan. This was under Emperor Showa. There was about 300 million of these minted. This is made out of aluminum. The rarity index on this is 4. The way that I understand the Japanese coins is that they have the date actually right here on the characters on the front, with the last one being the character for year. So the year would be right in here. So there's the reverse. I like some of these reverses. They're very interesting to look at, with the different designs and between the different denominations. Again, this is a 1960. The rarity index on this one is 4. This one happens to be a 1963, and this is a 10 yen. Also comes from Japan. So again, the date is going to be right here on the front, and these characters right here. This comes from the same era as the 1 yen that I just went over. There was 411 million of these minted. This coin was minted out of bronze. There's the reverse. I really like this reverse. I think it's a really ornate, but it's really interesting because it shows like some of the history of the country. Rarity index on this one is also a 4. Okay, this one right here is a 1974. This is a 5 centavos. This comes from Mexico. There was about 401 million of these minted. This particular design was used from 1970 to 1976, and they were struck out of bronze. I'm sorry, brass. The wrist stroke out of brass. The rarity index on this particular one is 5. This coin I actually had a hard time finding. The characters on the coin are similar to that of the Japanese ones, so I originally thought it was a Japanese coin. It turns out that it is actually a Taiwanese 1 yuan. This is an 1875 coin with a flower on the front and then the flowers on the back. This is one of those that I really like the designs on them because it's different. It doesn't have any emperors or any leaders on their coins. It's just just the nature. The naturescapes, the flowers and stuff that are found. So there was 456 million of this particular one minted. The design was used from 1960 to 1980, and this is an alloy of copper, nickel, and zinc. The rarity index on this one is 7. My next 2 coins are actually both from Argentina. I have a 5 centavos and a 10 centavos. Both of them are from 1992, so they both come from the same time frame. I'm going to talk about the 5 centavos here just real fast. There was 50 million of these minted. This is an aluminum bronze alloy, and the rarity on this one, the rarity index on this one is 8. And I don't know if you can see it. There is a special piece about this particular one. It is actually in the date. I'll put up a picture on the screen here with the number 2 on 1992. There's 2 different variations of the date minting. There's one that has a little bit of tail at the very end, and that particular design was actually minted in Canada by the Royal Canadian Mint. Then the number 2 on 1992, without the tail, is just a flat 2 on the end, was minted in Brazil. So this particular one I looked at actually underneath my microscope, and this has the tail. So this particular one was minted by the Royal Canadian Mint. So I thought that was interesting that there's an just basically South American coin that was minted by Canada that I have. Okay, we're gonna go back to the 10 centavos piece. There are a couple different variants with this particular one, and it has to do with the sun. The sun right on the top of the figure right there of the wreath. If you count the number of rays around it, there are different variations according to what mints produce that particular coin. So this coin has 21 sun rays. So this variant was actually minted in Argentina. There was about 650 million of these minted. This is also an aluminum bronze alloy, and the rarity index on this particular variant is number 5. Alright, last coin is going to be a 1994. This is going to be a 1 new peso from Mexico. The design on this is going to be different from most of the coins that I've covered so far, because this has actually 2 different alloys, 2 different metals. It's a bimetal coin, and I haven't covered one of those before on this in this series. The internal ring of this particular coin is an aluminum bronze, and then the outside ring is actually a stainless steel ring. So the OM on the right hand side is actually the mint mark for Mexico. This particular design, there was 221 million of these minted, and this design was used from 1992 to 1995. So it's only a few years that this happened, that this one was actually minted. The rarity index on this one is 5. Alright, this is a little bit of shorter video. I would like to thank you all for watching the video. If you have any comments, please put those in the section below. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next set.